Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudirayet. Hare Krishna. Thank you all so much. So we were reading about Lord Krishna's pastimes, and we read last time Damodar Leela. It was a Thanksgiving. It was a Halloween night, and we all read that about until the point where Mother Yashoda was trying to bind Krishna. Does any of you remember what were the two fingers? The rope was becoming too short, and what was the two fingers? Any of you remember? Last time we discussed that. You all can hear me?
Yes, Mataji.
So nobody remembers what was the two fingers that was short for Yashoda to tie the knot? Okay, go ahead, Govinda.
It was 2 inches short.
Yeah. What was those two?
2 inches short.
What are those 2 inches? Finally, Krishna gets tied, right?
Yes.
Yeah, she can finally tie him. What made her tie him? Go ahead, Shaisha.
Krishna, he was doing Leela.
He was doing?
He was doing Leela. He went into the place where they made Makhan, and he broke one of the pots and fed it to the monkey.
Yeah, can you be a little louder, Saisha? For some reason, I cannot hear you. Could be that I have a problem on my side. I'll try to put some headphones and see if I can hear you clearly. Okay, you are saying he did a Leela?
Yes, Mataji.
Can you all hear me now?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay,
Yes,
I can hear you nicely. Okay, so Saisha, what were you saying?
I said that Krishna goes into the room where they keep the Makhan, and he started eating them and fed it to the monkeys.
Yes, then that made Yashoda get angry, and she runs behind him, and finally she is able to catch the uncatchable Lord. Why is Krishna uncatchable? Does anybody remember? We discussed this also. Is that so, like you all were missing in the last session? That could be the reason, because I think Halloween night, all of you are not present. Only few kids were there. That's why you all don't remember. And I'm sorry for asking that. So, so let's read from 12th verse so that you all can remember. So 12th verse, do you all see here? Okay, Saisha, go ahead and read the 12th verse.
Mother Yashoda was overwhelmed by intense love for Krishna, not knowing who Krishna was or how powerful he was, because of the material affection for Krishna.
Maternal. Material is different and maternal is different, right?
Yeah.
What is the difference? Maternal is motherly affection. Material is like the affection towards the things. Okay, go ahead.
She never even cared to know who he was. Therefore, when she saw that her son had become excessively afraid, she threw the stick away and desired to blind him so that he would not commit any further naughty activities.
So Mother Yashoda is overwhelmed by the intense love for Krishna. She doesn't know who is Krishna actually. She doesn't know that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. He takes care of the whole material universe, spiritual universe. He is even her controller. She doesn't know. Until at that point of time, she is only thinking that she is the controller of Krishna because she is his mother. So she wants to prove to him that you are scared just by a stick in my hand. So be careful that you should not be doing next time any kind of naughty things. What was the naughty thing Krishna did? What was the
Stealing butter.
okay? What is that, Govinda? Sorry, go ahead.
Stealing butter.
Stealing butter, feeding the monkeys, breaking the butter parts. Eating butter is still okay, but he was breaking the whole parts, the pots. So she threw the thick stick away when she thought that Krishna is really very afraid. She doesn't wanted Krishna to leave the house and go because of getting scared of her. So she wanted to really tie him, bind him, so that he would not do any further naughty activities. Because that was a busy day. When this pastime happened, what was the day this pastime happened? Does anybody remember the Damodar Leela pastime when it happened? Meenakshi? On a Diwali day. So how busy we will be on a Diwali day? The mothers will be super busy from morning, making sweets, cleaning the house. Go ahead, Meenakshi.
So they were like getting ready for Diwali and they were cleaning the house and they were making the food.
So Mother Yashoda does not know that he is supreme. She doesn't know that he is everywhere. And how can she tie somebody who is everywhere to something? Like if something is everywhere, it is so difficult for us to put that in one place, right? But she doesn't know all those things. She only knows that Krishna is her son and he has done a naughty thing of stealing the butter and breaking the parts and feeding to the monkeys. And she just wanted to tie him. And she went behind him with a stick. And then Krishna got caught. She could catch hold of Krishna. And then she was trying to tie him because she wanted to teach him that he cannot do any more further naughty activities. Who wants to read? So this 13 and 14 says that how Krishna is somebody who has no beginning. Meenakshi, go ahead, read.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead has no beginning and no end, no exterior and no interior, no front and no rear. In other words, he is all-pervading. Because he is not under the influence of the element of time, for him there is no difference between past, present, and future. He exists in his own transcendental form at all times, being absolute beyond relativity. He is free from distinctions between cause and effect, although he is the cause and effect of everything. That unmanifested person who is beyond the perception of the senses had now appeared as a human child, and Mother Yashoda considered him her own ordinary child, bound him to the wooden mortar with rope.
Yashoda has tied somebody who is all pervading and who is time himself. And he doesn't have any past, present, future. He exists everywhere. That Supreme Lord, she tried to tie to a wooden mortar and that too with rope. See, Krishna, rope is such a small thing. Even a human person can, even a human can break the rope and go. And Krishna, for him, it is not a big deal at all. Like, one who plays with Brahmastras and all those things. But still, he was agreed to tie. Govinda, go ahead and read the 15th one.
When Mother Yashoda was trying to bind the offending child. She saw that the binding rope was short by a distant wide of 2 fingers. Thus, she brought another rope in to join to it.
So how many fingers short the rope was when she tried to tie Krishna?
The width of 2 fingers.
2 fingers short. Okay. Okay. Nihal, do you want to read the 16th verse?
Yes. This new rope was short by a measurement of 2 fingers. And then when another rope was joined to it, it was still 2 fingers short. As many ropes as she joined, all of them failed. Their shortness could not be overcome.
So not just one rope. See, when a rope is short by 2 fingers, and when you join another rope, which is longer than the 2 fingers, then it should not be any more short, right? It should be sufficient. But she has joined a new rope and later another rope. How many other ropes she is joining? What was happening? It was 2 fingers short. And this shortness could not be overcome. She could not get rid of the shortness. Okay, next, what happened? Padma, do you want to read, Padma?
Yeah, sure.
Mhm.
And by the way, it's actually Christian.
Here, from Tas Mother Yashoda.
The mother Yashoda joined whatever ropes were available in the household, but still she failed in her attempt to blind Karsana. Mother Yashoda's friends, the elderly golfers in the neighborhood, were smiling and enjoying the fun. Similarly, Mother Yashoda, although laboring in that way, was also smiling. All of them were struck with wonder.
So who was laughing, seeing all these things? That ropes were not sufficient to tie him. Is Krishna like a huge? So 2 questions I asked. Who was laughing?
The gopi.
The elderly gopis in the neighborhood were laughing. So is Krishna big, like a monster, that the ropes were not sufficient?
No.
He was a small little boy. A 2 feet long rope is enough to tie him. All the ropes in the house combined hundreds of feet long, but still she could not bind Krishna. It was impossible to bind Krishna. And then all the gopis were thinking, how is this possible? Isn't this funny? Isn't this kind of some kind of a surprise? Like, we thought that the first rope was short by 2 fingers, and after the second rope was added, it is again 2 fingers short. So they were all wondering, like, what is happening? They were all astonished. They were thinking, what is this? Krishna before showed us so many things, like he killed Putana, he killed Sakatasura, he has showed his strength. But now he's showing something else, that if I don't agree, you guys cannot tie me. I have to agree to tie me. So Krishna is telling to Mother Yashoda that if I agree, then only you will be able to tie. Nobody is powerful than Krishna that they can tie Krishna to a rope, to a motor with a rope. So this whole pastime was so entertaining for Mother Yashoda's elderly gopi friends. They were also thinking in their heart that he has been stealing the butter in our houses also, and never ever Mother Yashoda punished him. So this is the first time he stealed in his own house, and then he's going to get a punishment for it. But what is this? How many other ropes we are joining? It is 2 fingers short. What is that Krishna trying to show to Mother Yashoda? All of them were struck with wonder. Okay, who wants to read next? Mihika, are you there? Okay, maybe not. Okay, Meenakshi, go ahead.
Because of Mother Yashoda's hard labor, her whole body became covered with perspiration, and the flowers and comb were falling from her hair. When child Krishna saw his mother thus Parthsarthi, he became merciful to her and agreed to be bound.
So they have tried and tried and tried to bind Krishna. Mother Yasoda was so tired. She was covered with perspiration. And the flowers that she nicely arranged that day morning, she neatly, because it's a Diwali day. Did you all dressed up nicely on a Diwali day? You wear
Yes.
Indian dresses,
Yes.
do your hair and all. So she also did the same thing. She wear a nice yellow sari. She decorated herself with jewelry. She has nice flowers and all. And after that, she started churning the butter for Krishna. And now because she ran behind Krishna, she's so tired that all her flowers fell down. She's covered with sweat, and she's like all her body became stick, and she thought that it's so difficult to tie this tail, and she was fatigued, and she was like she thought that, oh, I may not be able to tie him anymore. At that point of time, Krishna becomes merciful to her and agrees to be bound. So Krishna agrees to get bound, seeing the effort of Mother Yasoda. He got impressed by the sincere effort that Mother Yashoda is doing. So the Acharyas say, to catch Krishna, to get the mercy of Krishna, the two fingers that are is, one is your effort, your sincere effort, like how sincerely you are trying to catch Krishna. Seeing your sincere effort, Krishna agrees to be bound. So those are the two fingers that are short. Okay. Govinda,
Yes, Mataji.
go ahead and read the 19th.
Oh Maharaj Parikshit, this entire universe with its great exalted demigods like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, and Lord Indra is under the control of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yet the Supreme Lord has one transcendental attribute. He comes under the control of his devotees. This was no exhibited by Krishna in the past time.
So Maharaj Parikshit. Do you all know who is Maharaj Parikshit?
Yes.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes,
Yes,
Mataji.
right? So Maharaj Parikshit is the one who is listening to the Bhagavatam, and who is speaking? Sukadeva Goswami is speaking. So in between, Sukadeva Goswami is telling to Maharaj Parikshit, this entire universe with its great exalted demigods like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, and Lord Indra is under the control of Supreme Personality of Godhead. At the Supreme Lord has one transcendental attribute. He comes under the control of his devotees. So the whole universe, the entire universe, not just this universe, all the universes in the material sky and the spiritual sky, all are under the control of Krishna. And now that Krishna is under the control of who? Who is controlling that Krishna?
Devotees.
Devotee. And who is particularly here?
Yashoda.
Mother Yashoda. And what kind of a love she shows to Krishna?
Maternal.
Maternal love. She loves him like a mother. So we all love Krishna in one of the five forms. Like we sometimes love him like our master. We sometimes some devotees love him like a friend. Some devotees love him like a child.
Mataji, I have a question.
Yeah, I'll answer. Some devotees love him as a lover. So all of us love him in one or the other way. Go ahead, Meenakshi.
So I heard that Krishna sleeps in a way that no one in this world can sleep like. Is that true?
From where you heard?
So I watched it. So actually, my mom told me. My
Okay,
mom was
okay.
watching a video and she said that Krishna always sleeps like this, and then no one can fall asleep in that.
Yeah, because Krishna, even though he looks like a human, he's not like us. He is transcendental. That means he's divine. His body is not made of the material things. His body is made of spiritual things. So he can eat with any of his body parts. He doesn't only need to eat with his mouth. when we offer prasad, he eats with his eyes, right? So in this particular thing, Yogamaya has to enter, and Krishna agreed to be bound by Mother Yashoda. Now, who win in this race? Who won between Krishna and his devotee? Who actually won? Who got the control?
The devotees.
The devotee got the control. The only thing that can bind Krishna is the devotee's love. Nothing else can bind Krishna. Okay. Now, okay, I see that Shaisha has left. No, she's okay. Mihika, you joined, right? You want to read next? Okay, Saisha, you want to read?
Yes, Mataji. Number 21.
20.
Neither Lord Brahma, nor Lord Shiva, nor even the goddess of fortune, who is always the better half of the Supreme Lord, can obtain from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the deliverer from the material world, such mercy as received by Mother Yashoda.
So, nobody got this mercy. What mercy that Mother Yashoda got? Brahma, Shiva, goddess of fortune. Nobody could tie him with a rope to a wooden mortar. Only Mother Yashoda could do that. Only Mother Yashoda could do it. And also, she is not somebody great. She's just a devotee. And she could tie Krishna. Okay, next, Meenakshi.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, the son of Mother Yashoda, is accessible to devotees engaged in spontaneous loving service, but he is not as easily accessible to mental speculators, to those striving for self-realization by severe austerities and penances, or to those who consider the body the same as the self.
So, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, the son of Mother Yashoda, is accessible to devotees engaged in spontaneous loving service, but he is not as easily accessible to mental speculators, to those striving for self-realization by severe austerities or penances. So, Krishna is very easily available to those devotees who love him. He is not available to those who do all kinds of austerities, penances, and everything. If you do all these things, but if you don't love Krishna, then he cannot get caught. So if you can just love Krishna and live the life according to how Krishna has told us to live, then Krishna gets bound. You know, Krishna has this nature of becoming a Bhrutya Vasyata. That means Bhrutya means servant. Vasyata means get caught. Like, you know, he becomes subordinate. Like he becomes, he gets caught to his servants. So that's what he has. Yekale Ishvara Krishna Ara Sabha Bhrutya. So he gets caught by his servants' love. So Mother Yashoda was loving him unconditionally like a mother. And then Krishna got impressed and agreed to get tied. So we all can also tie Krishna when we can do that spontaneous love, unconditional love. And then we can catch Krishna. Okay,
Mataji?
Yes, Meenakshi.
So I wasn't here on Halloween Day, but like, why did Mother Yashoda want to tie Krishna?
Because on Diwali day, one nice fine day, that is Diwali day, she tries to churn she tries to churn she tries to churn butter from yogurt, because she already heard so many complaints about Krishna going and stealing in other people's house. So she thought she will make butter by herself, so tasty that Krishna will not go to anybody's house for butter. And at the same time, she was also boiling milk from the cows which are very dear to Krishna. Krishna has 9 lakh cows, but some cows are very dear to him. So she was also boiling the milk. She got ready nicely that day. She started churning the butter. And while churning, she was also singing all the pastimes of Krishna. She's singing all those pastimes, and her bangles and all are making sound like music to her songs. Then suddenly Krishna comes. He wakes up and he comes hungry. And he says that, Mother Yashoda, can you please feed me with your milk, breast milk? So she stops churning the yogurt and she takes Krishna on her lap and she starts to feed him. Then suddenly she notices that the valuable milk that she kept on the stove is flowing, overflowing, because it is already boiled and it is overflowing. And that milk is very special milk because Krishna loves those cows and that milk is from those cows. So she quickly keeps Krishna aside and she runs to the stove. So when she runs to the stove to stop it, Krishna gets angry that Mother Yashoda left him on the floor, and he goes to the room where all the butter is kept. So he will climb on this wooden motor and he will break the pots of the butter. So he will eat some and he will also feed monkeys and he will make that whole room a mess. Then when Mother Yashoda comes back, she sees that and she gets very angry, because until then she was not believing the gopis who were complaining to her that Krishna is stealing butter in their houses by breaking the pots. But now she saw him doing that with her own eyes. So she thought that I need to teach Krishna a lesson. So she takes a stick and she runs behind Krishna to catch him. So that's why Mother Yashoda wanted to punish Krishna. Is that okay, Meenakshi?
Yes.
So you read 20 or 21? I think you read 21.
I read 21.
Yeah. So Shaisha, you want to read 22?
Mataji, I read 20.
Oh, okay. Govinda? I think Govinda is not
Yes,
there.
Mataji.
Okay, Mihika, after Govinda, you can read and Nihal can read. Okay, Govinda, read 22.
While Mother Yashoda was very busy with the whole affair, the Supreme Lord Krishna observed twin trees known as Yamala Arjuna, which is the former Millennium had been demigod son of Kuvera.
So, what is the reason Mother Yashoda bind Krishna? What did she say before binding him? We just read. She told, no more naughty activities for the day. I'm going to bind you, then you have to just sit in one place. But what did Krishna do? When Mother Yashoda was busy with the household affairs, Krishna observed twin trees known as Amalarjuna, which in a former millennium had been the demigods of San Kuvera. So he went towards those two trees. Mihika? 23rd, Mihika.
In their former birth, these two sons, known as Nalakovera and Manigriva, were extremely opulent and more fortunate. But because of pride and a false prestige, they did not care about anyone, and thus Narad Muni cursed them to become trees.
So when Krishna was tied to the wooden motor, Krishna noticed these two trees, and Krishna went towards them. And who are these two? They were the sons of Kuvera in their previous millennium. And then Krishna, they were cursed. Why were they cursed to become trees?
Because of their because they were because of their pride and like false prestige and
What is pride and false prestige means?
It kind of means like being egoistic and kind of like just being selfish.
Yeah. False prestige means you're trying to hold on to something which you are not, right? Pride is like, you are actually feeling, you're feeling so great of yourself, and either of your money or of your beauty or of your achievements or your positions, and then you're showing that. And then false prestige is like falsely identifying us with something and then feeling proud. Actually, false prestige is like he thinks because we are all not bodies. So identifying ourselves to bodies and also identifying ourselves to the things that we have is a false prestige. So next chapter we'll read. So why were they cursed? So that is what we're going to read. Nihal, can you go ahead and read the first verse?
Okay. King Parikshit inquired from Sukadev Goswami, O great and powerful saint, what was the cause of Nalakuveras and Manigrivas having been cursed by Narada Muni? What did they do that was so abominable that even Narada, the great sage, became angry at them? Kindly describe this to me.
So what are the names of those two sons of Kuvera? Nala Kuvera and Manigriva. So Parikshit Maharaj really surprised. Narad Muni is a saintly person. He only gives benedictions. He is like a teacher. He tells the devotees what to do. Like if you all see any pastime in Bhagavatam or anywhere, wherever Narad Muni goes, he gives directions for them how to perform austerity, how to perform a penance, what should they do, what should not they do. Usually he doesn't get angry. But here he's seeing that he has cursed the sons of Kumera. Kuvera. What is Kuvera famous for? Do you all know? Kuvera is the treasurer of demigods. That means he is the most wealthiest, richest person. He has everything. So Kuvera is famous for that. And his sons were proud of those things, thinking that all the positions they have belongs to them and they are going to stay forever. So that was the misconception. That was the false prestige which the sons of Kuvera have. So Parikshit Maharaj really got curious. He was like, what kind of an act they did that they were cursed to become trees? Because is it not difficult to live like a tree? What are the difficulties we have living like a tree?
We don't have friends.
We don't have?
Friends.
We don't have, what is that? Can you say louder, Kanna?
Friends.
Friends?
We don't have food or water.
Maybe somebody can give us food and water. We don't have clothes. Okay, Shaisha, go ahead. What do you think?
You can't move.
Yes, you can't move. You have to be just in one place, whether it rains or it snow falls or anything. Trees cannot do anything, right? Trees have to be just in one place. And they do. So now let's see what happens next. So who wants to read next? Mihika, you want to go ahead? And after that, Meenakshi.
Okay, Mataji. Text 2 and 3. Sukadev Goswami said, O King Parikshit, because the two sons of Kuvera had been elevated to the association of Lord Shiva, of which they were very much proud, they were allowed to wander in a garden attached to Kailash Hill on the bank of the Mandakini river. Taking advantage of this, they used to drink a kind of liquor called Varuni. Accompanied by women singing after them, they would wander in that garden of flowers, their eyes always rolling in intoxication.
So what were they proud, Mihika? What were they proud of? We read here, right?
They were
First,
proud of their wealth.
they have been elevated to the association of Lord Shiva. So they could reach, they could go to Lord Shiva. They have easy access to Lord Shiva and to the Kailasa hill. And they were very proud of that. Like, let's say, if you know any powerful person or if you know any senator or any governor or anything, you will be like so proud of yourself in the school. You will tell to everybody, like not you generally, they will tell to everybody that, oh, you know what? My friend is a governor. My friend is a rich person. Like this, these two people were proud of Lord Shiva's association. and they were allowed to wander in a garden attached to the Kailasa hill. So they got access to that beautiful garden in the Kailasa hill where Lord Shiva lives, on the bank of Mandakini river. Taking advantage of this, they used to drink a kind of liquor called Varuni. Accompanied by women singing after them, they would wander in that garden of flowers, their eyes always rolling in intoxication. So they were completely, fully intoxicated. They were so much intoxicated that when you are intoxicated, what will happen? Do you, any of you know what happens when you are intoxicated?
Your head doesn't work.
You won't see the things in the right way. You will be in your own illusional world. You don't have consciousness. You won't be thinking straight. You can be easily fooled. You don't have control on yourself. You don't know where you are going, where you are coming, what you are doing, what you are not doing. So these two sons were in that situation. That's why they were accompanied by women singing, and they were not even able to see properly because their eyes were rolling in intoxication. Okay, who wants to read next? Meenakshi, right? Go ahead, Meenakshi.
Within the waters of the Mandakini Ganges, which were crowded with the gardens of lotus flowers, the two sons of Kuvera would enjoy young girls, just like two male elephants enjoying in the water with female elephants.
So they were having fun with the girls in the water, in the lake, Mandakini river, within the waters of Mandakini Ganges. So they are sacred water. So whenever we see water bodies, we have to be very careful. We should not be polluting them, or we should not be having fun sports in that, because they are drinking water. So we have to respect them. So these two were enjoying like male elephants. So who wants to go next? Govinda, go ahead, read.
Which number?
5th verse.
5? Okay. All Maharaj production, but some occupation appointing for the two boys, the great saint Devrasim Narada once appeared there by chance. Seeing them intoxicated and with rolling eyes, he could understand their stationing.
So, by some auspicious opportunity, the two boys, the great saint Devarshi Narada, once appeared there by chance. Seeing them intoxicated with rolling eyes, he could understand their situation. Actually, Narada could understand that they were completely intoxicated. Anytime, if you know that Narad Muni is present, it is only going to bring auspiciousness. It won't bring any inauspiciousness. So Narad Muni always brings, because he is a great devotee of the Lord. So Narada actually, then you all may be wondering, what is the auspiciousness these two boys got? They are going to be cursed now. What do you think is the auspiciousness these two boys got? What do you all think could be that? Mihika, you have any answer?
Mataji, can you repeat the question?
What do you think that after Narad Muni appears there, Narad Muni is going to curse them. So what is the auspicious thing that is going to happen to these two boys? Because wherever Narada Muni goes, he only takes auspiciousness. He doesn't bring any kind of a bad thing to anybody.
So basically, like when Narad Muni came, since he always brings auspiciousness with him, the curse was basically just like a benediction, since they got to like stay as trees in I think it was Vrindavan Dham, right?
Yes. So that is one thing. So there is also another thing that I'm going to say now. Okay. So first of all, let's see the story. Narada Muni understood that these two boys are intoxicated. They can't even see properly. Their eyes are rolling and they are having still fun. Okay. Who wants to read next? Nihal, 6th verse.
Okay. Upon seeing Narada, the naked girls of the demigods were much ashamed. After, afraid of being cursed, they covered their bodies with garments But the two sons of Kubera did not do so. Instead of carrying out, Narada remained naked.
So what's the biggest mistake these two boys did? The young girls, they quickly covered themselves. Then they were also very much ashamed for their act in the water with the two sons of Kuvera. But these two boys, they were so intoxicated that they didn't realize that they are doing a sin of being naked in front of a spiritual master like Narada. It is so indecent. They are supposed to wear clothes and be in a normal situation and pay their obeisances. But they were so completely intoxicated. Their eyes were rolling. They were naked. So they did not even know that it is Narada Muni who is there in front of them. Okay, next, who will read? Mihika. And after that, you can go, Govinda. Mihika?
Is it sixth, Mataji?
Yeah, seventh.
Okay. Seeing the two sons of the demigods naked and intoxicated by opulence and full prestige, Devarshi Narada, in order to show them special mercy, desired to give them a special curse. Thus he spoke as follows.
So, our teacher, spiritual master, always knows like how to bring us to Krishna, how to give us devotional service, the seed of devotional service. So if you all notice, Narad Muni, in all the other pastimes, when he met Dhruva Maharaja, he taught Dhruva Maharaja how to do meditation to get Krishna. And when he met Prahalad Maharaja, he also taught him things how to. He was praising him. He spoke to his mother the whole Krishna Katha when he is in the tummy. But here, Narad Muni thought that I am going to give him a special curse instead of special mercy. So sometimes when our teachers or spiritual master or parents tell us something to do, we will be thinking that as a curse. But we should know that they are always our well-wishers and they will guide us properly. So it will turn as a special mercy at some point of time if we have that patience and that faith in that instruction. So here, Narad Muni actually gave them a special curse. And later it turned into a special mercy because he is going to give them a gift of devotional service to the Lord. Now they don't have a devotional service to Krishna. They are not having any bhakti or any love to Krishna. They were only intoxicated by their opulence and false prestige. They were very proud of the wealth they have. And they were also very proud of their association with Lord Shiva, access to the Kailasa hill and all. So they were very proud. So Narad Muni decided to give them a special curse, which will later turn into a special mercy. Okay, Meenakshi, go ahead and read. After that, Govinda will read. He's not at his desk. 8 verse.
Narad Muni said, among all the attractions of material enjoyment, the attraction of riches bewilders one's intelligence more than having beautiful bodily features, taking birth in an aristocratic family and being learned. When one is uneducated but falsely puffed up by wealth, the result is that one engages his wealth in enjoying wine, women, and gambling.
So Narad Muni said, of all the attractions in the material world, being richest confuses the people's intelligence a lot. Maybe not being beautiful, not being born in a highly devoted family or a highly prestigious family, or not being most learned. See, somebody is most learned, at least they will learn some kind of humility. But here, Narad Muni is saying, if you have lot of wealth, lot of that richness, that money kind of confuses your intelligence. And when your intelligence is confused, you are for sure going to do mistakes. That is what happened with these two boys. When you have a lot of money, they engage their money in enjoying wine, women, and gambling, which are the regulative principles that we should be following. No meat eating, no illicit sex, no gambling, and then no intoxication. Because these are the 4 places where Kali resides. Kali Purusha. He resides and he makes us do sinful activities. These are the 4 places where if we associate ourselves with them, then we will become sinful. If you all notice, people fight when where there is gambling, they fight. When the person who is when if any one of those persons who are gambling, if they lose their money, they'll start fighting, they'll start hurting each other. So similarly, wealth is most dangerous. That's what Narad Muni is saying. Okay, next, Govinda, 9th verse.
As well as unable to control their senses, because who are famous, proud, and their riches and their birth is our culture families are so cruel that to maintain their perishable bodies, which they think will never grow old or die, they will kill poor animals without mercy. Sometimes they kill animals merely to enjoy an aspiration.
Somebody who is very rich, they lose the control of their senses because first of all, they are losing their intelligence. That's why they lose the control of their senses. And because they are proud of their money, they go and kill the animals, or they kill, they just kill the animals for as a sport also, or they kill the animals and they cook and eat to maintain their bodies, thinking that these bodies are going to stay forever. But everybody's body goes old and dies. They don't know that. Because they are intoxicated to money, riches, wealth, they have no control on their senses and they act in a way that they are just increasing their sins. So I'll stop here and we will see how they were cursed and how Krishna helped them to come out of those curses, and how a special curse turned into a special mercy. I would like to hear from you all the points that you felt that you have learned today, or something that you thought that this is something I have to implement in my life, or your realizations. Please go ahead, kids. Okay, Nihal.
Hare Krishna Mataji, what I learned is that a curse can turn into a benediction, and we should have faith in it. Another thing I learned is that the greatest gift is seeing God and worshiping God. And I learned about the Damodar story and how only devotees can conquer Krishna and no one else can.
Haribol. So a spiritual master or devotee's special curse can also turn into special mercy. Wonderful. Saisha.
I learned that you should always be a good person, or else you'll basically get cursed.
Yeah. So you should not be intoxicated of your wealth or false prestige. You should not have false prestige and pride. Good. Daksha.
I realized how like the two sons were like they didn't care about
They didn't care about Narad Muni, who is a great saintly person.
yeah.
So this is something we all have to learn. When you go to temples or when any senior devotees come to your house, you have to behave in a way, you have to have a proper behavior, respectful behavior. We should not be behaving improper like how the sons of Nalakuvera and Manigriva has done. Very good, Daksha. Meenakshi?
I learned that that even like the highest of demigods cannot conquer Krishna, and that only the power of his devotees can make him do what he wants to do, and it takes a lot to get his trust and earn it.
Very good. Yeah. Great demigods or wealth or austerities or penance, nothing can control Krishna. The only person that can control Krishna is a devotee of Lord, and who has an unlimited love, unconditional love for Krishna. Okay, Mihika.
Mataji, I learned basically like how like Krishna displays his like relationship in like many rasas, and like how we can react with like how we can put our relationship with Krishna again, or reestablish it in
Mhm.
like different rasas which are according to us as our wish.
Wonderful. So we all have our relationship with Krishna, but we just forgot. So now by chanting the holy names of the Lord, we are going to re-establish that relationship. It is not that we are going to make a new connection with Krishna. We all are connected to Krishna. We are just going to revive that connection. And how will we revive? Krishna will reveal to us our relationship. When will he reveal to us our relationship? When we chant and get purified. So all of you remember to chant the holy names of the Lord. There is no age limit. It is simple. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we will continue and see how they have been cursed and how Krishna has delivered them. And after delivering them, what did Krishna do? What did those two, Nalakuvera and Manigriva did? And what happened? We will all know that next week. Okay? Don't forget to join. We'll have more fun with the story. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji.